Hey, I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. This is my uncut review of 65. The synopsis, actually, I didn't like the synopsis on IMDb. Here's what I would say if I took a crack at it. 65 million years ago, a space pilot crashes on Earth with a young girl, the only other survivor. Together, they must travel the dinosaur-infested prehistoric Earth to reach a way to escape the planet. All right, so, as far as what this basic animal is, I would describe it as a movie that feels made for families with preteens and young teens, much like the Jurassic Park movies. It's got that intensity. In fact, there's plenty of intensity because of the dinosaurs and other prehistoric dangers, but the tone also ventures into light and silly here and there, and some action or suspense beats feel contrived or unearned to me, like sudden rescues out of nowhere that feel a little bit unjustified, or that we should have seen coming with some kind of evidence, or the frequently repeated device of characters looking toward the camera for danger while the audience sees the danger looming behind them before they do. And so when some of those things kind of start happening in movies, I just kind of feel like, well, they're just making happen in this movie whatever they want to happen. It doesn't feel like there's a real strong cause and effect element at play in terms of the world and its rules and mimicking some semblance of reality. I understand it's very subjective, but maybe it's because there is just not some other things really jumping out to help me ignore those what are for me shortcomings. But I have to admit, first of all, I do find dinosaurs boring. Plenty of adults still love them, but I suspect that for most people, the interest in dinosaurs peaks sometime during elementary school when there's curriculum that's focusing on them. And for me, I just lost interest in dinosaurs a long time ago. I was still open to this experience because in the trailer, I saw them using not necessarily a T-Rex all the time, but some non-traditional dinos, and that proved to be the case in the movie, except for, 2 or 3 T-Rex scenes. But the dinosaurs still didn't feel as bizarre and alien as I want monsters to be in sci-fi. And that is the role that they're playing here. They're playing monsters, these dangerous creatures. And even in Jurassic Park, you had one dinosaur that would spit poison into people's eyes, and there wasn't anything even quite as exotic as that. And I wish that they would have really dug into the back catalog of dinosaurs that nobody knows about that have some of those kind of interesting biological facets, but they didn't really do that. And so as a result, the dinosaurs felt too known to me, and monsters work best for me when they are unknown and they are gradually understood little by little over the course of the movie. And I kind of felt like, they're basically just menacing lizards of different shapes. There are also unnecessary, I think, communication issues between the pilot and the girl. She does speak a different language than him, and so obviously there's going to be communication problems, but he only very selectively uses hand gestures to communicate. And from the very beginning, okay, listen, you got to get some basics out of the way, and you can get a really small but vital lexicon of words just using hand gestures, and he only did that selectively. And I'm like, I'm not buying into this communication breakdown, because I think any adult would be using hand gestures to try and communicate better what they were saying. There's also a touch of child empowerment that, we see that most strongly in movies that are directed at kids. Kids are the heroes. Kids are empowered. Kids are capable. Adults are buffoons, right? That's the far end of the spectrum toward entertainment for children. And it's not that in this movie by any means, but there's a little bit of that child empowerment that does make the movie feel geared toward younger viewers and helping them kind of connect with the story. It's not a full-on family movie vibe, but there's enough of that there to take me out of the movie regularly because of the choices it makes that are in that vein. As far as the cast goes, Adam Driver does a great job with the material he's given, and the child performers playing his daughter and the girl he is stranded with both felt very solid to me, so I don't have much to say there, and I don't really have any complaints. As far as the stunts and visuals go, not much to say here either. The CG is pretty Hollywood standard, not bad by any means, but it still has that false animated feel to many of the dinosaur movements. I'm waiting for the CG revolution that can finally fool my eye completely, which isn't necessarily about the detail of the CG models, but rather how they move. I find CG much more convincing when it's replicating cars or vehicles or chairs or other things that might be in motion because of gravity or other things, but they are lifeless themselves. Anytime moving life is being created by CG, it most often really stands out to me as looking false, because either there's something with the motion capture or the animation that doesn't really recreate movement of real life convincingly to me. As far as themes, there is a character arc involving the pilot learning to care about this girl that he's stranded with, but I don't know that it involves a real theme or message. Just because it's a character arc, I don't feel like there's something that they're trying to say to us necessarily as audience members. The pieces are almost in place to talk about human origins, given that these ancient aliens look exactly like humans, but their connection to human origins is never really made. I thought they would kind of go that route and kind of create in this movie, hey, this is how humans showed up on Earth. But they didn't really go that route. So both in its story and its themes, I just find this one pretty forgettable. I have no idea what your tastes are in movies, but if I were a time traveler, I'd go back in time and say, Peter, skip this one. At least skip watching it alone. It's not a horrible experience. It's just not very interesting to you. You've got one viewing of it in you, max. And so at least watch it with one of your boys if the trailer makes them interested. This is not one you need to waste time watching by yourself. It's rated PG-13 for intense sci-fi action and peril and brief bloody images. And those are all of my thoughts for now on 65. As always, I would love to get your thoughts and reactions in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, click that bell to stay connected. I want to thank the Spirit Blade Insiders for making this review possible. You can get info about the benefits of joining over at patreon.com/Spirit Blade Productions. Then I hope you'll check out our podcast and stay connected to all CGC content at christiangeekcentral.com as we continue to geek out and seek the truth. For more chat about geek entertainment, answers to your questions, and news from the wider world of Christian geekery, get the Christian Geek Central podcast today on iTunes and other podcast services.